My name is Lise Colucci, and I am one of the life coaches at queenbeing.com, where we help you to discover, understand, and overcome narcissistic abuse in toxic relationships. Hello and welcome. Just have a quick live stream today where I wanted to talk to you about a question that somebody asked a couple weeks ago, and I've been thinking on it and have a reply. Oh, it always does this glitchy thing, so I'm just going to wait and talk about something else for a second. Hello, Frankendoll. You made it today. Hello. Is it still weird and glitchy if I move around? I'm going to wait till it stops. I don't know why it does this, but we're going to talk about nothing until it works. So what can I talk about? Let's see what's coming up. We've got group coaching starting again next month. We've got trauma bond groups and a self-care group and a group called Evolving, which is a really great group for if you are a bit into your recovery and you need some help with things that pertain to yourself and you want to help move your life forward. So I'm doing good. How are you? There, it's working now. I can talk. It was not working. Was it? Anyway, here we go. So the question was, first of all, why do narcissists move on so fast? We kind of addressed that the other day, but we'll add a little bit of that into this. The main question was, why do they treat the new supply differently? Why do they do things for the new supply they wouldn't do for you? Why do they become a different person when they're around new supply? And how do they do it so quickly? How do they do it? Okay, so let's start with why they move on quickly. And that is because a narcissist needs supply. So when they lose their main supply, they need to replace that main supply, and it needs to be rapidly, because if they do not have supply in their life, they begin to kind of become unhinged and go off the rails. They tend to, hi, Crystal. They tend to, they need supply. We know they need supply. And if they don't have it, what they're doing is keep hoovering you and keep, going after other people for the supply. So it's lightning fast. It's overnight. And sometimes as they're discarding you, they could be literally hooking up with the new supply. And I'm talking to the second or the minute. I mean, they could be, hello, Justin. They could be pretty much instantaneous. I know that was my experience, and it is shocking and, a little bit of a kick in the teeth and the stomach and everywhere else. So I can tell you stories all about mine doing this, says Justin. Please do add the stories. I will read them. So what they do is they become predatory. Okay, the second they are alone, or maybe not the second, but within a few seconds, very rapidly, once they're alone, they get frantic and need the supply. They get desperate for the supply. They feel that they need something in their life. The reason is they cannot sit in their own experience of their own emotions and feel anything. Number one, because they don't have empathy, so they only feel for themselves. They don't feel for the other person. When they leave us, we feel for both of us. We feel sad for ourselves and we feel for them, and we don't necessarily want to move on right away because we, number one, need to grieve, but we also still have the connection and the love back toward the other person, right? They don't have that. The second their attention is off of you, the second they can focus on someone else, it's gone. And then the new supply becomes the source of the attention and the affection. It's a way to avoid all experience of oneself through a breakup. They don't like to feel any of that. They don't want to. They don't want to feel alone. They need the constant reinforcement and the constant adoration that comes with supply. Now, what is better than a new romance for constant adoration? We all know what that's like. We hate it because we call it love bombing now. We understand what it is from the other side, right? So we don't want that. But we all appreciate the feeling of being around someone new and the feeling of the new affection and the new attention when it's not scary, right? When it feels nice. We all know that's nice. Well, a narcissist takes it to the next level where they actually prey on people. They're predatory and they go out seeking supply. They go out, they might call it seeking a new partner or whatever. But that's not what they're doing. It's predatory. They become completely open to the new experience of what they're about to go into, and they will stalk and look for the perfect target. Okay. Or any target in between, really, until the perfect target comes along. The perfect target is the supply that sticks. All the supply in between, all the flings they have, and all of the people that they sleep with, within a week of discard or sooner, those people are, that's just intermittent supply. So let me see what's going on here. Frankendall says, I've also noticed when they don't get the supply, the substance abuse goes up. What do you think? I think that's probably right. I think they self-medicate. They have the most bizarre mumbling conversations with you. If they try to hoover you, they will go into the pity ploy. They'll plead, or they get angry. The substance abuse, anything to self-medicate. And, I've also heard porn addiction, other things too, during that. And it escalates during that time. Excuse me. Crystal says he was lying about getting better, sex addiction, becoming a better man, telling him, myself and the kids, he wasn't seeing any women. Well, we caught him with a girl in his car. Yeah, right. It's sometimes before they leave, often before they discard, they will have new supply. But in the case of when they're actually out in the dating scene, so okay, guys, when you're out in that dating scene, when you're online, oh my gosh, okay, you're in a predatory field. You are in a land where you're being read, right? You're being looked at as if you're something to be taken and had by a toxic person. It's very dangerous. There are safe people there. There are good people there, but there's also a lot of scary things that can go down. So, hello, Jen. Dating. No. I know. I'm just saying this because we're talking about the new supply. And if one person's somebody else's new supply, then you could potentially be someone else's new supply. You know what I'm saying? So we got to keep it safe and understand what to look for. So what they do is they go and they will meet people and they will tailor their taste to the new supply's taste. They may call it learning about new people. They may call it finding new interests, okay? They will change their speech patterns within a few days. They'll start using words and terms and phrases that the other person uses, that the new person uses within a few days. Who does that? Except somebody who is mirroring and grooming. Unless you are a comedian who does improv and is really, really good at picking up things really, really fast, which is probably not most of us. I don't know why else someone would do that. It's a grooming technique to make you seem like you have commonality and to make the narcissist attach in the way a narcissist attaches, which is predatory. Okay, they're stalking prey is basically what they're doing. They're looking for someone, a way to connect so that you feel connection instantly. They'll even say things like, we had such instant connection over someone they met 3 days prior. We know what that is, right? It's number one, it's insanity. It's not possible. Number two, it's creepy. And number three, it's love bombing. Okay. And it goes both ways because when the narcissist love bombs in the very beginning like that, when they throw all of the, we've got this great connection, connection. And they throw all these words out, especially the more intelligent or the more, the ones that like to talk and have use language that is not so basic. You know what I'm saying? They will definitely, sorry, now I'm adding something. Okay. They will, lost my train of thought. Anyway, the love bombing. So they give all this love bombing, right? They give it, oh my gosh, we had this great dinner and we had this great connection and this conversation and we have so much in common. Why do they have so much in common? Because they're reading the person and they're pretending to have things in common. It may be subtle. It probably is subtle. If they're covert, it's super subtle. It's a complete, if you know them and you were a fly on the wall watching, your jaw would hit the floor at the things that they say. You would never suspect that they would hook up with that particular person. It could be the complete opposite of everything you know that they can tolerate and that they like. And you know what I mean, but tolerate. You know, once the mask falls off, you know what your narcissist is and you know who they are. So you know the type of person that they would absolutely never get along with. Well, there they are. They could be sitting across the table from that very person, and they're mirroring them, pretending to be exactly like them, pretending that it's fascinating that this person is such a way. Okay, it's really, really toxic and really sick. And this is like the very beginning of the trauma bond, okay? Because this is where they're roping you in and making you believe that you have some connection that's deeper than just, hey, how are you? Who are you? When you first meet someone, there should be mystery. There should be mystery that isn't so intriguing that you can't stop thinking about the person, right? And what happens is when they give you all this love bombing in the beginning, all this attention, all this focus, all this drive, you mirror it back to them. So the person who is the new supply becomes the ultimate supply for the short term. And it may look like a connection because what you got going on there is love bombing meets love bombing, right? Of course that looks like connection. So anyway, they do that. In the meantime, they are collecting information about that person. They're collecting their vulnerabilities. They're collecting their likes. They're collecting their dislikes. In terms that is not narcissistic, where you're using that information to understand and know about a person, we'd call that learning about a person. We'd call that discovering things about a person, right? Like if anyone who's not narcissistic is out with someone new and they're asking questions, they're just trying to get to know someone. Well, a narcissist is using that information to completely change who they are and which mask they're going to wear. So once they put that new mask on, they have to keep that mask on for the duration of the love bombing cycle. And that could last years. So you can see how it can look like they are a completely different person when they're with new supply. And they do completely different things. And they may even do things that they refuse to do with you with the new supply because they've put it on in this particular mask they're wearing. Well, when that mask comes off, that same old narcissist is going to be there because the narcissist doesn't care about that other person, about this new supply. They only care about the supply they're receiving from this person. Is that making sense? That's a lot of words, but that's what happens. Okay. Love bombing and the female narcissist, they prey on men, love bomb men, and get married to other men for the supply, for the narcissism and sex. Well, I'm not understanding this. I've never met anyone like you. You're the woman of my dreams. Yeah, right. They've never met anyone like you. Yeah, that's true, because there are no two people who are alike. That's what my retort to a love bomb, right? Come on. He's so gross and creepy. Poor women. I know. They're all getting his blue steel look. And the look. The predatory look. You can see it in their eyes. You can feel it in their speech if they're texting you. You can feel that look is on their face. They will cross boundaries early on. I mean, these are red flags, but really it's part of this. Part of the way that they manipulate the mask they're wearing is they push the boundaries and see how far they can take it to see how your reaction is. And then they know the new supply's reaction and how they react to certain situations and which mask to wear and how to adjust the mask. So that's why it looks different. Okay, because we all have different boundaries and different levels of things that we accept and tolerate in our life. Yes, ma'am. Everything that he told me in the beginning, once upon a time, made me the perfect woman. Exactly. How can everyone be the perfect woman? All it is whoever gives the best attention. And it's true. There may be some commonality. There may be some common, they may legitimately be looking for someone to, I don't know, go bowling with or whatever their thing is, right? And so there may be those things in common. So of course they're going to do that. They're not going to go to something they know nothing about. They're going to go because they want, number one, to do the thing they're going to do. They want to play and they're like Peter Pan, they want to always be doing the fun. So of course it makes sense that there would be basic commonality, but yeah, you're the perfect woman. This connection, this amazing connection. It's meant to be. It's so meant to be. I can't even believe it. Right? Okay. And the same things. And of course, that was the same things that were used against me in the end. That's what I was talking about yesterday, right? Where they take the thing that they claim to love you for, and then they flip it on you, or they tell you the thing that will never be a problem, and suddenly that's why they want to end it. They want to discard you. Okay. I've experienced this so often this past year, it makes perfect sense. Yeah. How can someone figure out the difference between genuine connection or a narc mirror? Genuine connection takes time. It takes being through different types of situations with a person, experiencing different emotions with a person, watching them behave around family, friends, strangers. It takes time. It's a slow process, and it's sure, you can have easy connection early on, but it doesn't cross boundaries. When you have a healthy, easy connection with someone that you meet and you're like, wow, this person is going to be my friend, regardless of where it goes. That's what it's like. This person's meant to be in my life, regardless of where it goes. There's no clinging need to attach to the person. It becomes toxic when you do that to someone who you don't know. It shouldn't cross boundaries. If it's narcs will cross the boundary. They will lure you in, and they will keep their eye on you, right? And they will watch the moves you make. They'll be very sexual early on. They'll bring that in a way that makes you feel drawn in, like you are the most attractive person ever to that narcissist. They'll use that connection, the sexual connection, once they have you in bed, to create bond. Okay, so yeah. It's toxic all the way around, and the beginning is the worst. The beginning is the worst. We think it's the best. When we look back, we think, oh, that love bombing, oh, I miss it so much. When you're at the end of the relationship and you just want that back, it's literally the worst. It's the point where you lose yourself so fast that you don't know which way it's up or down. So here we go. What else is going on here? Do any other personality disorders discard as many times as NPD? I think borderlines can, if it's a toxic borderline person that is to the level where they are abusive to other people. Not all people with borderline are abusive at all, but there is a point. It's another spectrum personality disorder, so there is a point at which it can become very toxic, and there can be many, many discards. And usually with those, the discard comes with smears and hatred before anything. Like, you don't even know why they're doing it. So Misty says, hey, Lise, hey, happy I made it. I hate that look that you feel in any form of communication. I do too. And Jen says it's completely and absolutely intoxicating at first. It sure is. And it's especially when we got to watch it as survivors, because it plays as if we know once we've had it what it feels like, so it becomes a little easier to spot. However, if we don't put in the healing that we need to put in, a very sneaky covert can get in there. So it's important to pay attention to the way you're feeling about what's going on. And if you feel like you're falling in really, really fast, then back it off and see what happens. And watch that person, set some boundaries and see what happens. If someone pushes your boundaries more than a little bit, it's okay. I mean, we all tease and push each other's boundaries now and then. That's kind of part of the flirting courtship, right? Is to kind of push and pull. However, that should be so minimal, and it should be respected once it's clear that it's a boundary, not just, something to mess with. In fact, it's better if it's not pushed at all, but if it's respected. Actually, I don't know. I think innocent people will push a boundary, but a well-trained psychopath will learn that he or she should not push a boundary early on. So if they're not pushing any boundaries, that might be a red flag too, now that I think about it. But you got to watch it. It's the way it's done. It's pushing against something that is very clearly stated that I already said that, and they're going to push and keep pushing until they get their way. And it's usually something where they want to see you. They want more contact. They want photos. They want connection. Anything to get that connection. They know. So here's the thing about somebody who is stalking you for prey. They know that once they have their hooks in you, once that connection is formed, they've got you. And that means they have continual supply. Okay. This is exactly the reason our kids aren't speaking to him. Of course, he doesn't understand why exactly. Exactly what female narcissists do. They make men feel like they are the perfect man. Oh, it's across the board, Chris. It's both men and women. I'm sure there's differences in the way it looks, but the same tactics are used. They make them feel like the man is perfect and a beautiful connection that they discard and then get married to fuel their supply. That's right. Yeah, and the difference with the female narcissist is they tend to want to marry you fast, right? They tend to have an agenda that's a lot bigger than. So, looking for people's agenda is an important thing. If someone truly wants that connection that this narcissistic predator is claiming to want, they will wait for sex. You know what I'm saying? They'll know that it'll come when it's time for it to come, not when it's not a demanding, I need it now kind of thing where they are using it to hook you in. Just like anything, all the red flags, we know that with the love bombing, anything where a person says that they feel connection and they feel like it was meant to be within a week or 2 or even 3 of knowing you, or even 4. I mean, maybe if you see each other a lot in a month, you might say, wow, this really feels like it's meant to be. But to say that right away is just plain creepy when you think about it. And it really, really shows the predatory nature of what's going on here. All right. Any questions or anything else you want to talk about? That was my no notes, improvised, why they do that answer. But so, yeah. I heard all that in the first week. Yeah. Hi, Chanel. Am I saying your name right? Hi, Nikki Ann. Let's see. You almost broke no contact last night, so I listened to some audio recordings of the abuse as an emergency break. Whew. It worked to stop me from reaching out, but I feel set back. Any tips? Yes, I do have tips. I made the recording because I was afraid he might kill me. So the recording was your savior last night, and this morning it's a little bit of your link back to your trauma bond. So understand that you were a little bit re-traumatized listening to that. You were already feeling the trauma bonds because you wanted to reach out, right? So you were a little bit thrown into that, but it's okay. So, thank yourself for making that recording and for having it available and having the smarts to use it, because that kept you safe from contact. Because if you had made contact, let me tell you, you'd be feeling a lot more setback this morning. And do things for yourself to put yourself back on track. Just accept that today is a little bit off. It's okay. We all have off days. I'm having a totally off day myself. And here's what you can do. You can do things like take a long walk, put some headphones on and listen to some music and walk fast. Move your body, move the adrenaline through your body. When you have that kind of experience where you're listening to abuse, I'm sure your adrenaline was spiking. So take a walk, move your body, do some yoga, do something with movement. You can pamper yourself. You deserve it right now. You just went through something kind of traumatic and re-traumatizing. You can journal what you're feeling. Make sure you let your feelings have their place, because sometimes it's a little bit healing to hear it again and go through it and realize you're not in the trauma anymore. You are safe and you're out of it and you're not going to go there again. So all this was a memory. It's a memory with some audio, which is powerful, but it's not the actual abuse. That's what I do for triggers, is I remind myself that it's not actually happening right now. And you kind of have to tell yourself that, because our emotions get really, really loud during that time. Does that make sense? So there's a few things that I would do. A lot of self-care, acceptance, and try to set a better intention for tomorrow before you go to bed. Make a gratitude list. Get your positive mindset going. Remember 3 things you love about yourself as well. And, that setting it up for tomorrow, hopefully. Some days just are bad. It's just, I'm sorry, but it is. I've blocked him on all social media. Good. So many red flags to look out for now. I actually feel like going on dates now will be more like clinical testing of sorts. It is. And here's the other thing about dating sites. What we're doing when we set up an account and we set up a profile, I'm getting a little off topic here, but it's pertinent and it's relative. So we're setting up a profile, right? We're writing personal information. We're giving information to strangers. I really hate that aspect. I get why you have to in order to have an algorithm that actually makes sense. But can you imagine a predator looking through that? I mean, narcissists, when they're on the hunt for supply, they're predators. That's all they are. They are 100% in predator mode. It's almost like you can smell it. You know what I'm saying? Like you can see it in their eyes when you meet them. You can sense it in their words if you know what you're looking for. But you're giving an outline for how to be groomed within your profile. So I say keep it simple and make sure that if someone's talking about your interests, that there's genuine interest in the question and that they're answering as well. I don't know, you got to be really careful. You got to watch for red flags, see how it feels to talk to a certain person, spend enough time chatting where you get a sense of who they are. So when you meet, if there's any difference, or any pushing or any boundary pushing, you can sense it right away. Things like that. Oh, good. You feel better. He can't spy online. What's happening here? Oh, yeah. It was like being there, except I knew what was happening this time. Yep. Getting ready to go for a walk with my dog in the park now. Good, Frank and Doll. I'm going to go take another one soon, too. When we reach out to them for any reason, it gives them supply. Just promise yourself you won't be narc food any longer. That's right. No more narcissistic any energy. No more energy going toward a narcissistic person, even in your thoughts. That's another thing, Nikki Ann. You can tell yourself, I don't even want to give him my thoughts. And shift your thoughts onto something else. Find something interesting in your day or something that you like or you need to think about or whatever, and think about that instead. It's a lot of it is just, it's effort and you get through it, but it's effort. Narcissists are very sick men and women are, narcissists are very sick men and female narcissists are sick women who have to deliberately hurt the ones they get married to fuel their supply. Yes, they do. Because they need this, they need the supply that's both negative and positive because they're not happy people. They're not out for fulfillment and mutual positivity. They're out to fuel their own needs all the time. It's all about them. Everything is about them. Even the nice ones, it's about them. And it's only about them. And you can sense it when you're talking to new people if you just slow down and pay attention. Not always. Sometimes you can get fooled for a little while. But here's the thing. If you can go slow enough with someone new so that you don't become new supply, if you can go slow enough to not connect and not bond easily and quickly, then you have a chance to see the manipulations that they're trying to use on you in order to get you to bond quickly. Does that make sense? Because someone that isn't toxic won't do that. Okay. Oh, you meditated last night. Good. I've been out 2 years. Okay, let's see. Frank and Doll. I've never dated online actually in over 20 years. And honest, I don't want to. Farthest thing from my mind, but the tips are good. Even in person, even when you meet someone new in person, you've got to watch. But I mean, online, it is nothing. It is such a playground for this. Such a predatory experience. Trust me. It's not. Yeah. Okay. The multiple breakups and getting back together is intermittent reinforcement, right? Yes. It's so the discard Hoover or breakup, get back together, as you worded it. The discard Hoover is the same cycle as the love bomb devalue. It's just a different version of that, right? So yes, it is absolutely intermittent reinforcement, and intermittent reinforcement causes cognitive dissonance and trauma bonding. So stay away from it. When the discard happens, close the door. I feel like cussing today, but I'm not gonna. Close the door. When the discard happens, that's your opportunity to slam that door right on that narcissist and let them go find new supply. The sooner they find, honestly, the sad and scary thing is the sooner they find new supply and move on, the better. It's really, really painful. It's heart-wrenching that they do this to you. It's terrible. However, it's the best thing for you. It's not good for the new people. It's our benefit of them, or our positive is somebody else's negative. That's the unfortunate piece of all of it. They belong away from other people. They belong with each other, in my opinion. They belong away from people who really want to connect with other human beings. So enough of that. How will we meet people now? I'm wondering the same thing, Crystal Ann. I'm right there with you. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe we don't. Maybe that's okay too. I don't know. Let's see. Think you do it socially, go out socially. Yeah, that's a good idea. My online photos work awesome for keeping unwanted people away. Your work photos, okay. Yep, I slammed the door yesterday on him. I told him he was sick. Good. Now keep him blocked. Blocked. No more of this coming back. You will begin to heal. Okay. It takes a while and it'll be painful, but you'll begin to heal, and you have some support to help you through that. Justin says, as soon as they find a new supply, their attitude and mood changes. Ooh, this is a good one. Their attitude and mood changes, and all of a sudden, everything you do is even more wrong than before. Or Justin, it can be more, they can pull the pity ploy more because they don't want to lose you as supply. They just don't want you to be the main supply. They need you to stay around so that when they have no supply, they can hoover you back in. They want to be your friend, or they want to be your, they want to stay connected. Sometimes it's through the arguing, and it's through the treating you badly that they do that, because they know that if they treat you badly, you're going to be sitting there hurting, wanting them to treat you well, which means what? You stick around. So, yep, they do that. Plus, how could they wear two masks at once? How can they become what this new person wants them to be, or not wants them to be, what the new person brings out in them? How can they mirror and adjust and groom to the point where they become a different person? If you watch it, it actually made my stomach hurt when I saw it happen. I saw it happen in one phrase that was said, one phrase through text, and I knew. And one expression of word that was never, ever used in however many years, right? And I thought, okay, that's it. That's the mask. That's the new mask. This is what's going on right now, is the new mask. I don't know if it'll last, probably not, because there'll be like a few more iterations of supply till the next victim one, the next one who doesn't have the awareness, the self-worth, the next one that's vulnerable, the next one that's like in a position of actually needing someone to care about them. That's the one that'll stick around, sadly. But how can they keep that mask on and the one they wear with you at the same time? They can't. It would be exhausting. So yeah, they just revert to their, jerk mask and use that. Let's see. I know 100% my narcissist is on all the dating sites. So yeah, within minutes. I don't know about yours, but within minutes. Within minutes. How do you do that? It's ridiculous. Unless you are doing it to, whatever. Okay. Who is single at 40, who isn't a narc or a victim of narcissistic abuse? Who is single at 40? There's plenty of people. They're just harder to find. Believe me, 48, it ain't easy. That's where, you just be careful and you look and you wait. Here's the thing, Crystal, Jean, that when you are meeting someone, if it's healthy anyway, it's not going to move fast. I don't think so. Especially not at 40, because we got lives. We've got things to do. We're not like college age or even younger, where we have nothing going on. Usually some of us have kids, we have jobs, we have friends, we have social engagements and activities and whatever else we do, our own private things that we do for ourselves. And to fit someone into that takes time and effort and energy and desire. So if it's healthy, it's going to move pretty slow just because of the nature of the way it's laid out once you're over 40, right? So that's a way to look at it, at least. Not always, but it's one hopefully. You can look for groups on Meetup. Yes. But remember, they're on Meetup too. These aren't safe groups. They're just different options so that you're actually meeting a real person rather than meeting a profile, right? But you still got to watch for red flags and you still got to be careful. So look on Meetup, and also something you like or a pastime or you're passionate about. And then you'll meet someone with a common interest. That's my plan. And when I'm ready to date. That's a great plan. And that is probably my plan too, because the worst that happens is you have fun by yourself doing a thing. Who cares, right? It's not when we go into, when we are heal enough, we enter into dating without need. We enter into dating for fun and to meet people and to experience whatever it is the dating experience will be, right? When a narcissist goes out hunting supply, it's need. You can sense the need. And when you step back away from your own need, when you step back and let your need be there, but then like kind of work with healing it and let it be, let it fade to the background, so that because you start doing things like Meetup and whatever for your own life and activities and pastimes and volunteering and social things or whatever it is you do, or work a lot or whatever you're doing, when you start getting into your life and you step back from your own need and you realize, I don't need that. I don't need another person to complete me. That's ridiculous. When you step and you become more healthy with how you enter into relationships, you see the need in other people. I can tell you that the few people I've talked to end up in coaching. I mean, not really, but I feel bad, like the ones that are, out of hard things, but at the same time, they ain't ready. And that I could sense the need. I sense the need instantly. There's a needy person, they need something. They need something from me. So if I'm talking to someone I think is a narcissist, the need is different. I feel the pull and the tension and anxiety. So anyway, that's my tips, but I don't know. Not super into this either, but here we go. You want to heal. I want you to heal too. Chris says, always block your narcissist on all social media. That's right. Okay. Be careful in churches too. It's nowhere safe. Okay. Just so you know, nowhere is narc proof. Narcissist proof doesn't exist. You're saying you want to stalk them at churches or something. It's meeting people at church can be great, but it also can be, there's plenty of narcissists within every church out there. So definitely. And people who spiritually abuse, there's a special sort of disgust I have for that, because you're getting into someone's belief system on a real deep level, right? Okay. Oh, this is an interesting one. From the male perspective, that some dating sites have become a platform for women looking for sugar daddies, selling Snapchat premiums, overcash apps, prostitution, and all sorts of other things. They sure have. They're all, it's hard for both the men and the women. We think it's just hardest on us women because there's more predators after us, but there are plenty of predators after men, and it's gotten pretty, I've heard more men say that there are more bots and catfish on there than there are real women. So I don't know. Crystal says, strange little changes. It was when he started sending me selfies and never ever had in 20-year relationship. Obviously seeing someone younger. That's right. Using the word LOL when they've never used the word LOL. In fact, don't like it. Sending emojis when they never sent emojis before. What? It's one thing to discover them, and like sometimes someone will discover them and they're emoji crazy, but come on. Right. Me too. I'm 42. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Justin says, it took me a year of living in my own apartment and finding out that I'm still alive and thriving alone. That finally showed me that I can be alone and still survive. Good for you, Justin, because that is, don't you feel calmer with that knowledge? Not being facetious, but get a dog. Yes, you should. It keeps me busy and loves me even when I look ugly. Yeah, that's right. Well, I understand that. I don't mean that all Christian, you said you're Christian. I'm not saying all people in church are bad. I'm saying that it's not necessarily a safe zone just because it's church. So be careful even there is what I meant. And it's absolutely a great idea for if your faith is your focus in your life, and if it's strong with you, that it's absolutely a good idea to go to church functions and go to socials and go to, a lot of times they have singles mixers and whatever, and through the churches, different churches even. And it is a good idea, but also be careful, because it doesn't, just because it's faith-based does not make it narc proof. That's all I meant. I'm going to do the same thing. Says, let's see. All right. I have lots of friends, but they're all busy. My dog is my bestie at the moment. Mine too. She's freaking awesome. That's right. The dogs are the best. It does help to have a pet, and a dog in particular, because you can take them out into the world and they actually interact with the world around you. So you get out of your own head when you're with the dog. You're paying attention to the dog and you're watching the dog enjoy the world, and then you're out in the world. Okay. All right. Anything else you guys want to talk about? I have a feeling that the dogs are going to bark here any second because I have a child about to walk in. So when that happens, I'll just end this. Anything else you would like to talk about on this ever so exciting topic of, we kind of got a little off topic, but that's okay. It was good. Adoration is safe. The people they're not. I don't understand. Me, mine. What do you mean? The people there, not always. Okay. Anything else that you guys want to talk about? Hit me up in the next minute here or so. Otherwise, I'm going to end the stream pretty soon and come back next week. I got a troll. Okay, who? I can't read through or I'll be staring. Oh, here we go. Okay. Sorry, let's just do this. There we go. God, that just makes it simpler. Okay. Hope that took care of it. All right. Prayer is safe. Okay. Church people, not always. Exactly. It's not the faith or the prayer or the belief that's the problem. It's the people within it sometimes. I'm just saying be careful wherever you are is all I mean. To not think because someone believes in something that makes them safe. All right. So, there we go. Hey, someone's coming up. Okay, you guys, I'm going to go for today. And hey, you don't need to bark while I'm on a live stream. He's just saying hi, guys. That's the dog. All right. Well, I guess I can keep talking now because he's still going to get quiet now. All right. So, narcissists, and so that wraps it up. Okay, that wraps it up on why a narcissist changes for the new supply. I hope that made sense. There's other reasons too, but those are the ones that I could think of that make the most sense to me. It has to do with them being predators. It has to do with them needing supply. They don't just want it. When they are out of supply, they need it. They need it. They'll even tell you, I need someone in my life. I need. They'll tell you that. And yeah, they do, especially the coverts. They need to have the flow of somebody else's attention going toward them. They don't feel, I think. I don't know what it is, but you're welcome, Robin. I'm glad you guys are loving these. Hit me up with any topics. I'm out right now. So whatever comes up this weekend, it will be what next week is, unless you guys have something you want to talk about, you can always find me on Span too and ask me to do a live stream about a particular topic. And if it's something I think I can talk for a full hour on, I'll do it. Or I'll mix it with another one and combine it and do that. So thank you again for being here. I wish you well on your healing journey. And as always, I am so grateful to have spent the time with you. You take care and have a great weekend, and I will see you next time. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, and that's it. Talk to you later. Bye-bye. If I can find here we go. We'll do it this way. We'll be very stealthy here. Bye.